Now let's talk about Zijuan. What's the deal with her and Daiyu? Well, it's kind of like a boss and employee relationship, you know? Zijuan is like the right-hand woman to Daiyu, always there to support and accompany her. It's like they say, I'm the ruler's sidekick, and the ruler's companion. Basically, Zijuan is there to take care of Daiyu, who's like a guest in the wrong palace, far away from her own family. When Daiyu first arrived at the palace, Granny Jia really liked her and wanted to make sure she had someone responsible looking after her. So they chose Zijuan, who is more experienced and mature compared to the younger maid, Xueqin. They wanted someone who could take good care of Daiyu. And you know what? This decision had strengthened the bond between Daiyu and Zijuan even more than with Xueqin. So, in a nutshell, Zijuan is like Daiyu's loyal and reliable companion during her stay at the Rong Palace. Their relationship is unique and special, forming a deep connection between them. If we compare their relationship to that of a mother and child, then Zijuan would be like an adopted child called mingling. What does mingling mean? She is the newcomer, just like an adopted child, right? The original maid was Xueqin, who served as her personal maid. But since Zijuan came later, she was called mingling. She truly understands Daiyu's thoughts and shares her sorrows and anxieties with her. It is a newly developed relationship, but with deep emotions. So when Daiyu passes, she shouldn't be able to continue living, right? What should she do? Unlike Shiren, who is still living after Baoyu's departure, she would make her own decision. But why doesn't she make that decision? The next sentence explains it. Zijuan was originally a maid by Granny Jia's side, and Jia Mu treated her very well. So she should have gone with Daiyu. What's the point of Zijuan still being alive when Daiyu is gone? She needs to be loyal to one person, as it was the case in Chinese society at that time, especially within a large aristocratic family. So, she should have died, but she still lives. Why? It is because she cannot hurt Jia Mu, her old boss. Zijuan can only leave this world after Jia Mu passes away. Therefore, she is especially compassionate and loyal. Alas, who can match such devotion? The words, compassionate and loyal, describe Zijuan's actions throughout her life. However, it is still unclear whether she achieves liberation. I might be nitpicking, but Zijuan also reaches the level of Buddhist enlightenment. Some passages in the following 40 chapters indicate this. Alright, let's take a look at how Tu Ying evaluates Qingwen. According to Tu Ying, Qingwen's exceptional qualities are a double-edged sword that leads to her own downfall. It's tragic, really. And guess what? It's all her own doing. Tu Ying admits that Qingwen has a commendable character and mindset. There's nothing to criticize about her in that regard. However, her quick temper and sharp tongue can sometimes get the best of her. It's not a good way to behave, you know? That's how Tu Ying sees it. Tu Ying suggests that Qingwen should learn to hide her talents. If she could just tone down her sharpness and impatience, she wouldn't end up in such a tragic situation. She wouldn't be suddenly dismissed and left to suffer. This argument is mediocre, but think about it. If Qingwen could hide her talents, what would she be? Qingwen is like a shadow of Daiyu. Her tragedy highlights the cruel reality of the environment they're in and showcases Daiyu's own fate. Doesn't that make sense? Actually, it fits quite well. Let's talk about another individual, Yuanyang. How should we interpret this person? First, let's take a look at Tu Ying's comment. It goes like this: Sima Zichang has something to say. And by Sima Zichang, we mean Sima Qian, 1st century BCE. We all remember his famous words, "Death may be as heavy as Mount Tai, or it can be light like a feather." If one must die, let it be in the right place. That's what Sima Qian was trying to convey. Essentially, everyone will eventually die, but it's crucial to pass away in a way that is appropriate and fitting. If the circumstances surrounding death are not appropriate, it's comparable to being as heavy as Mount Tai or as light as a feather. Jia Shi took a liking to Yuanyang, and at that moment, Yuanyang knew trouble was brewing. She already had a sense of impending doom and was prepared to die. If she had actually committed suicide at that time, it would indeed demonstrate great integrity, but many people would consider it inappropriate. If Yuanyang had taken her own life because Jia Shi wanted to take her away as concubine, what would that mean? Although she would have shown integrity, history would not have praised her. If Yuanyang had committed suicide then, and according to custom, she had a place in the Jia family ancestral hall, how would that reflect on Jia Shi, when he joined the ranks in the same ancestral hall? It is more appropriate to end her life after the passing of her boss Granny Jia, which Yuanyang did. This is why Ying believed that the timing of her death was crucial, and Yuanyang's death at that moment was more appropriate. Regarding Ying's commentary, I have a different take on it. This discussion is all about looking at things objectively. The background to the death of Yuanyang. But you know what? We don't actually know the true story behind Yuanyang, the person. Let's think about it. Her name Yuanyang implies a romantic relationship between a man and a woman. Yuanyang or Madarin ducks always appear in pairs. How intense can love between a man and a woman get? It's like they're inseparable, just like a pair of Mandarin ducks. Now, let's think about Yuanyang as an individual. Has she ever experienced love? Nope, not once. She has never loved anyone, yet she's been given the name Yuanyang. That's pretty strange, don't you think? And then, after her death, in the next 40 chapters, she goes to heaven and enters this fantasy realm, where she meets Qingwen. And then, guess what Qingwen says to her? You arrived at the perfect time. I'm appointing you to be in charge of dealing with all the love troubles between men and women in the world. Naturally, Yuanyang is shocked and asks, but I'm the least knowledgeable person when it comes to love. How can I handle such a responsibility? And you know what Qingwen says? Actually, you're the one who knows the most about love. Now, isn't that an interesting turn of events? The term Yuanyang originally represents the ultimate realm of genuine affection between a man and a woman. So, how can it be destroyed by someone as insignificant as Jia Shi? When Grandma Jia passed away, Yuanyang's return to the heavenly realm was like going back to the gates of paradise, symbolizing the true essence of love. The true essence of love isn't just about loving someone once and for all. In reality, love between a man and a woman ebbs and flows, just like everything else in the world. It's like an apple that ripens, rots, and eventually disappears without a trace. Every specific love relationship between two people in this world follows this pattern, right? But this love has a backstory. Every man and woman born into this world is destined to experience love, isn't that true? It's not a choice or decision we make ourselves. If it were, it would be strange in this world, where some people choose to love while others choose not to. But that's not how it works. It suggests that even before we enter this world, something awaits us, including love. In this sense, love transcends birth and death, doesn't it? So, Yuanyang Gyatso 18th century, wrote this poem that goes like, whether you love me or not, love is there, steady and unwavering. Cao Xueqin gave this concept to a character named Yuanyang in Dream of the Red Chamber, where love is intertwined with Buddhism. He named her Yuanyang, but didn't allow her to experience love even once. There's a reason behind this, a reason that was not understood by Ying. But I understand it, so I'm sharing it with you. That's why Dream of the Red Chamber is an extraordinary philosophical masterpiece. It beautifully explores the depths of Buddhist philosophy. We've covered many ideas with the selection of 13 characters, and we won't delve into the minor characters in the interlude narratives. Our lecture on Dream of the Red Chamber is 3 days long, isn't it? So, this marks the end for now. Thank you all for listening.